Yeah, I think, yeah, let's start. So let's continue from yesterday. I think we have stopped because of I cannot log in. It's throwing authentication failed, even though some error. It was due to DB's. The DB password is correct, but it's not taking. It's taking from cache. So I had to clear the cache, and then it started working again. So now let's access the SonarQube. It's working. Hopefully, I remember the password. Oh yeah, see, it's logged in finally. And of course, you might have seen here there is no warning for the DB, so it's gone. So now, what we were doing yesterday, we were analyzing our project, right? So while analyzing, sorry, how to analyze is we have a sonar scanner. We just have to execute the sonar scanner. So what we have to do is, I think we have it somewhere, right, in OPT sonar scanner bin. Okay. So as I told you, we need to use sonar scanner in order to analyze the code. But of course, every time I can't use the path like this. So what I'll do? I'll export it. I'll set it as a variable. Sonar scanner equal to not a valid identifier. Obviously, quotes I need to give. Okay, got it. Yeah. So now it's fine. So what happens now is, what's happening now is, I have to analyze the code. So I cannot use an obviously slash opt slash the full path I cannot give, right? So that's why what we're doing, we were saying, hey, set this as a env variable and use it. That's what we are trying. So now it's throwing an error because there is an hyphen actually here. That's why. So what we have to do, we have to define the path. You can simply give scanner, which is, oh wait, is it path correct or scanner? Yeah, this is correct. My bad, sorry. Or if you don't want any of this, I don't want this at all, you can use the full path, which is completely fine. There is nothing wrong. I'm just giving you, that's it. I'm just saying you, that's it. Now let's do scanner. Okay, it's not taking, it's fine. Let's do one thing. Let's use the full path for now, at least. So now this project has to analyze. Let's see what happens. See, it started. It failed for some reason. Unable to execute sonar analysis. You know why it's failing? Because did we give the URL? Because the scanner needs to talk to, as I told you, sonar server, right? So if you see here, communicating with sonar server, while communicating only, it failed. Let's see why it's happening is, sorry, open the sonar scanner conf. This is the sonar scanner properties file. Okay, got it. So the URL is wrong because I removed this sonar. I removed this slash sonar. We had to remove it. Yesterday I removed it. So now that's why this error is thrown. Now it will work. It will throw different error now. Let's see. Now it'll connect, but it's throwing a different error. See, sonar.token. Now it's connecting to this URL, I mean our SonarQube server, but it cannot authenticate. I mean it can able to access, but it cannot log in. Why? Because it does not have access to login. That's why we have to provide a token to Sonar, like this. We have to give sonar.token to Sonar scanner. So what we have to do, we have to create a token. My account security. See, there is no tokens. Generate token here is right. We have to generate a new token login. Just for name, I'm just giving token type global analysis. Global analysis is fine, or you can see it user token, which is fine. When do you want to expire? Maybe 30 days. Generate. Copy it, because you can't copy it in after next time. Now open the properties, just keep it here. Now I kept it. Let's see if Sonar can Sonar, what the hell, for God's sake, man. So we have to add a new parameter called sonar.login, and that's it. So now it will access to this URL, and it will use this token to login, to authenticate to SonarQube. So now let's see if it works or not. It's going on. It started. If you see, execution failure again. Okay, it's logged in. Okay, this is fine. This is just a warning. We can able to change it, which is completely fine. But why it's saying something? You must define the following properties for unknowns. Sonar project key, blah blah blah, something. What's happening here is, see, we are using Sonar scanner to analyze. This is completely fine. There is nothing wrong. You can use sonar.login or sonar.token. It's saying use sonar.token because it's a new one. Login will be removed. Something that is fine. That is fine. But it's saying something else. Sonar.project key. What is that project key? So what's happening is, when you analyze a project, a code, you need to pass multiple parameters. Out of that, sonar.project key is one of the thing. Without that, Sonar scanner does not do anything. What is that project key? Just an unique key for your project for identification. Let's say Sonar have 100 projects. SonarQube have 100 projects. Each and every has to be unique, right? It will be, each and everything will be different. But how Sonar will identify? Based on the name? No, it cannot identify based on the name. It will be identified based on the key. But where do we get the key? We give the key. What is the key then? It's just some random thing. Do give whatever you want, but it should be unique for each and every project. So let's say for this project I gave the key as maybe test. For next project I have to give the different key than test. But you can give anything I'm telling you. So Sonar scanner, this is the command, right? We're just using type -D sonar dot, what is it, project key is equal to, what is the project key, maybe test something. As I told you, you can use anything as a key, but it has to be unique. That's it. It has to be unique, because Sonar identify the project based on this key only. Observe capital K, it is project key is capital K. So this is one of the arguments Sonar expects. You can pass other arguments also. -D, sorry, where is it? -D sonar dot project name. That is also fine. What is the project name? Node.js app, this is also fine. But of course, yeah, even though if you don't give the name, it will take from here. If you give the name, it will use that. And the key is mandated like this. Now enter. Let's see if it works or not. it's going on something. It's analyzing. It started analyzing. What will happen usually now is, first it will read your code, whatever the code is. It will find out which language it is, and based on that it will do the analysis. See, execution success. It means analysis is done. See, analysis successful. You can find the results in dashboard ID test. What is the ID test? Project key is the ID here. That's why I told you. It does not care about the name. It cares about the project key. Now let's see. Is it came right? This is how it'll be visible. Just go inside it. See, it is passed. It means it was okay. See all these things: security, reliability, maintain, accept issues, coverage, duplication, security hotspot. These are all issue types. You just go to issues. It will show you. Come on. It will show the issues also. Like, let's say which line this issue is. Let's say if you just click on the issue, one issue. So what is the issue? Warn something, maintain replacement, some error is there. Why this is an issue? Please click on it. See, it'll tell you why the issue is and how can I fix it. This also it will give you. It will give you the issue, why this happened, and what exactly the solution also it will give to you. And it is showing here main. Sorry, because we did analysis from main branch only, right? That's why. If you just click on code, it will show you the code, everything. Of course, this is the code only we have. These are all information you will get. Project settings also, you can delete the project obviously. Or project information, click on it, it will give you the information. What are all these? We haven't discussed it, we'll discuss. If you see here, 27 lines of code overall in main branch. Tag, sorry, where is it? Project key test, see. Visibility public, I mean everyone can see it obviously. What are these? These we will see it, don't worry. That's how we usually analyze. Let's analyze maybe one more project. Let's log in. Maybe this one, React app. Is there a code? Okay, maybe this, come on. Maybe Maven project, this one. Yeah, this one. Let's clone it. Let's clone it. I'm just cloning it in here. It cloned. See, sample Maven project. Now, of course, you can do the sonar analysis command. See, except that change the name obviously. Let's say I don't want to give the name here. Let's see what happens. The key has to be changed. Test 1, maybe anything. I mean, I'm telling you, right? Anything you can able to use. There is nothing wrong. But it's mandatory. So, shall we do it? Enter. Let's see what happens. It failed. Connection timeout. What the hell? Oh, I know. You know what's happening here? Sorry, my bad. Actually, it is can't connect to SonarQube, but this is the wrong IP. We not gave this IP anywhere. From where it's coming, there is a file, properties file. I wanted to show this. Okay, let's start this. So, what's happening here is, As I told you, we can pass the arguments like these -d sonar.project key while analyzing it. But there is one more option. Instead of doing that, we can create a file called sonar-project.properties inside your inside your code, wherever your code is present, like this sonar-project.properties. Open this. It's a long one, it's a very old one which I did. So in that you can define all your details like this. Project name is test project. Okay, to keep it. Project key is sample project. See, project version is, we have to do like this. Sonar.sources, we have to give the path where your source code is. Of course, this file we have to keep along with the code inside the repo. So that's why I gave dot. It means wherever this file present in the current directory, look for the code. Obviously that's how it is currently. That's how we'll keep it also. Sonar.login is not required. Just and sonar.language, which language you are, Java, you can use it, or it's not even required at all, because it will automatically find the language for you. You don't need to do anything. Got it? Sorry, got it. So these are the URL. So scanner is trying to read this file. That's why the error. This is a very old one. Let's remove it. So even though, what happens is, even though you pass an arguments, but scanner will give priority to the sonar-project.properties file. See, don't get confused. There are three properties file. First is for SonarQube, sonar.properties, SonarQube configuration. Another is sonar-scanner.properties, which is for scanner, which is for scanner configuration. Sonar-project.properties, which is for project. What will be there in the project configuration, the arguments, the parameters which we need to pass: sonar.host.url, sonar.project name, obviously I've seen, project key I've seen, project version also they'll change every time, 1.2, 1.1 something, whatever it is, just for identification. And sonar.sources, where the code is. Obviously by default it will be dot only until your code is somewhere else, so you will have to give the path, let's say maybe slash something, whatever it is. Well, sonar scanner by default will read this file, this properties file by default, we call it project properties. It will read this file and it will read all the parameters present inside it and analyze the code. Whatever the key is present in the key, whatever the URL, whatever the project name, it will read everything. When I tried, I think I kept it long back. I think. When was the last time I worked on this? 5 years ago. Okay, I think it was 5 years ago. Sorry, so I forgot to change it. So now it's updated. Let's refresh. Yeah, sorry. We got a new project. See, test project. Go inside. See all the issues. How many? 193. Reliability issues are 193. Coverage is 0. Okay. Security hotspots 2. Go to code. You will see SRC. These are all code only. See how many lines are there? 7,000, 7,029. So many are there. It will check everything. And I told you, right? See the issues. 198 issues. It will showing you. Show more. See. It will show you everything. And even on the left side, severity will be there. High, critical or low. It will decide high, whether low or critical. Critical also it will show, but it's not. Of course, I think there are no critical issues, it seems. So that's why it is not showing. You can just go high issues. You can fix the high. I mean, depends on what you want. See, like that. Or let's say author is there. Okay, this is my old mail. I forgot this. It will show you who pushed the code. So now I can identify, okay, this guy pushed it. That's where the issue. So like that. So like that you can able to analyze any project with the help of sonar scanner. All you have to do is don't pass the arguments like to CLI how I showed you earlier, -d like this. I just showed you there is a way. That's it. Always use the properties file, sonar.properties file. These are public repos. I mean, these are all public repos. Everyone can able to access. So You can also use this. Let me send you. You can also access this. You can use it for your practice for all these things. You can save it. So now, okay, analysis is done. I'm doing sonar analysis with my scanner, my agent. You can call it agent also. It's completely fine. Agent okay. Sonar server is also fine. I'm doing analysis. So, but how it's happening? How these analyses are happening? That's the important thing, right? How the hell it is checking my code? How it's deciding whether issues are there or not? See, it's saying 193 issues here. Security hotspots are 2. But how the hell it's deciding that? How the hell it's deciding that? That's what we see today. There are something called, these are issues. I mean, our product issues. Not these are overall issues. But there are something called rules here. If you observe, these are the rules for every language. If you observe here, Java, C, TypeScript, Python, PHP, what HTML, what else? Terraform also is there, which we can able to use our things. Docker also there, Kubernetes also. What does it do in Docker or Kubernetes means it will just analyze whatever you wrote. That's it. Text file also there. So what happens is SonarQube has inbuilt rules where when you analyze the code, let's say what happens is when I just did a sonar scanner right here. What's happening? What usually happen here is first it will identify the language, which language it is, or which language the code is. Is it Java or is it Python? Whatever it is. So it will first identify it, and then once it's identified, what happens is like it will check for the rules here. The rules. So based on the, let's say Python it is, as an example I'm just taking. It will identify the language as Python and it will look for the rules of Python in the Sonar. In Python have 291 rules right here. So these 291 rules will be applied to your code. It will be compared. See how we set the rules, because everyone has to follow those rules, right? If someone does not follow the rules, what happens? They are maybe not qualified or something like that. So here also, SonarQube has something called rules where it will apply to your project. So if the rule is not matched, it will throw as error or warning. It will decide whether it is a major or minor issue like that based on the rules only. So all these rules are applied. There are 291 rules. Let's say for Java 667 rules are there. It means when you analyze a Java project, it will go through all the 667 rules, and based on those rules it will throw you the errors. Maybe let's say there is an issue here, this one, remove the unused logger. So why this throwing as issue means there might be some rule which this code is not following. There might be some rule. See here, unused private field should be removed, something, Java S1068. This is the rule. See the rules. This is one of the rule. That's how it will works. Of course, we don't care what this issue is. It's not our problem. But I'm just telling you how. See, you have to know how it works. You don't bother about what is the AND symbol, what is the errors, and all these things. That they'll take care. All you have to do is analyze the code and how it's doing it and what's happening inside. So these rules, we cannot delete them, we cannot add them. These are all inbuilt. See how many languages are there. See, all the language, I think are also there, I think somewhere. Every language it's supported, see. Every language. That's why there are rules. inbuilt. You don't need to do anything. Got it? These are the rules which will apply to your project. Now imagine 667 rules. It means it has to go to each rule, right? How much time it will take? Too much time, obviously. And of course, out of 667, I am not using so many things. I mean, maybe 100 are not relevant. We don't need those rules and all like that. At the time, we can create our own. I mean, we cannot create our own rules, but we can make sure which rule has to be applied on our code. That we can able to do. See, out of 667, I want to use only 100 rules. It means I want, whenever I analyze, only those 100 rules has to be checked for my code. What to do at that time? I cannot create any filter like this here. That's why there is something called quality profiles. Quality profiles means what's happening here is you create a profile and you add the rules what you want to check, and this profile will be linked to your project. If you observe, there is one profile for Java called SonarWay, and its 512 rules are there. But initially we see in Java rules are 667. It means out of maybe 150 to 155 rules are not relevant, it seems, or not used. That's why we create a profile and we add the rules what we want to use, and we use this profile in our project. Observe here, go to a project, maybe test project information, go here. If you see quality profiles used, CSS, Java, JavaScript, because these are all languages present in our repo, it seems. Some or other file present in these languages are being used in our repo. That's why all these quality profiles are being used. So see, SonarWay, this nothing, the default is SonarWay for everything. See, what's happening is Sonar will check your project based on the rules, but I don't want Sonar to check all the rules, maybe a few of them. That's why we have profiles. We create our own profile like this. Create a blank quality profile, anything, or create from existing copy from existing, or extended existing means you want to increase it. Let's create a blank profile. Language, which language? Maybe Java. What is the name? New profile, something, whatever it is. New, create. It will go, see, 67 rules are there. Currently in this profile there are no rules. You have to add rules here. How to add? Just click on it. These are all the rules, right? Just activate it. Let's say what is this severity measure? Activate. Just I'm showing you one rule. That's one. So now go to Java. Where is Java? See, Java, two rules are there. See, and two profiles. Sorry. In that two profiles, only one rule is activated because that's what I gave. That's what I activated it. That's the only rule I am using in this profile. So like that we will be using. And of course this profile we have to assign to project. So here this is a project, right? How to assign? Where the hell it is? Quality profiles. See, quality profiles. Add a language, Java, obviously. Add Java. Nope, not here. Oh yeah, sorry. Change it here. Instead of default, use the new. See, Java new, the new profile is using instead of the default SonarWay. Now when you analyze what happens, only one rule will be applied to your code. That's it. That's what it happens now. Got it? Only one rule, because in the profile which we added to this project have only one rule. That's why all these things. That's why the quality profiles. Most of the times we'll use Sonar default way only, I mean default profile only, Sonar way for this quality profile. But sometimes, because remember here, you want to create a profile, you have to go through each rule, you have to activate them for your profile. 667, which is too many. You cannot go on everything and activate. So that's why most of the times we use a default Sonar way profile only for every language, not just Java, for whatever language we are using. I'm just showing you Java example because our code is in Java. That's it. Got it? That's about quality profile. These are rules which will apply. I mean, quality profiles are like bunch of rules. I meant to say bunch of rules which will apply to your source code. By default, each and every language have its own quality profile called Sonar way. We can able to change it in our project. So let's. But what happened here is it will just apply these rules to you, and it will show the errors. I mean, like warnings or all these things. But it does not do anything. What does it mean? Does not do anything is. See, let's say. Let's go to the another Node.js project. Let's go to the other one. Let's say what happens is, okay, we just gave the rules, but we are not putting any restrictions on top of it. Let's say you have a school. I mean, I'm just giving a small example. I have set a rule, like everyone should wear shoe, uniform like that. But as of now, I don't have any punishments. I mean, like, even though people are not using, wearing uniforms or not wearing shoe, I'm not doing anything. Then what is the point of rule? What is the point of rule, right? There is nothing. So you're not taking any actions. You're not, doing anything. But you just have a rule. That's it, which no one follows. Of course, they're following. Some are not following. Sometimes there has to be some action happen. Then only there will be meaning for rules, right? Similarly here also, quality profiles are there. Okay, quality profiles are there. The rules inside the quality profiles are there. It's analyzing. I mean, it's using the quality profile while analyzing our code, and it's giving the results. But I have to decide. I have to set some conditions here. If you haven't wear uniform, you are not allowed to class. Let's say this sample example here. Similar way, if you have issues, maybe more than 100 or more than 125, something like that, you are qualified as failed. Currently it's qualified as passed because there are no rules. But we have to set a conditions, then only the rules have a meaning. Those conditions will apply using something called QualityGates. QualityGate, which is very important, which we'll use very, very commonly. These QualityGates nothing but conditions. We set some conditions on top of it for the rules. Obviously, we'll set some conditions. Hey, if your open issues are more than 50, the project status is considered as failure, like that. Or let's say security hotspots are 2. Let's say if security hotspots more than 0, you are considered as failure. So if it is failure means we have to fix it. See, currently even though there are 193 issues, 193, 198, 200 issues, still it's showing as passed because the rules are implemented, but the conditions, the punishment for crossing the rules are not implemented. So quality gates are like punishments. Of course, in this terminology we call it conditions. We apply some conditions, and if all the conditions has to be matched, then only the project status will be passed. Otherwise, it will be failed. If you see again, Sonar way, there is a default quality gate called Sonar way. We can able to create our own. Obviously, of course, people will create their own conditions and they'll use it. They don't simply use a default one. Obviously, correct. Let's create our own one. quality checks, create, and we have to add the conditions. See, these are default conditions came. Yeah, you can keep it, it's fine. You can add unlock editing, you can add your conditions. You can add you can see my screen hopefully now, I guess. Issues, if you see greater than 0, it's failed. How many issues we have here? How many are there? 100 almost. Sorry, 198 or 200? 198, right? Let's add some meaningful condition. If issues greater than 50 should be failed. Of course, it will fail obviously. I want to show you, that's it. Like this, we'll have multiple conditions. Duplicate lines should not be crossed than 3%. I think we have 0. Let's see. Duplicate line 0. Okay, I did not write the code. I just open source project actually. And coverage is means code coverage. They'll do some other kinds of testings, so that coverage they'll display it here, which is 80%. Security hotspot review less than 100%. Security hotspots here, they mean the code review what happens in security hotspots. Currently 2 are there, right? We can add one more condition here. Add a condition, a new code or overall code. It's asking for new code or overall code. So what is new code and overall code is, let's say I push for the first time we have analyzed the code. It will become overall code. I mean, it will check the overall code, everything in the whole repo. Now I made one file, I added one file, or I made one small change in one file and pushed it. That's the new code, right? The new only few changes are there. So that's why it will be there like new code and old code. So here what happens is like when we push something, it will show here. If it is overall code, it will be overall code. Now the condition you are creating, where you want to apply, on the new code you want to apply, on the overall code. Of course, overall code. Sometimes it will be on a new code also. Depends on, see, these conditions you don't add it by yourself. You will be discussing with the developers because they wrote the code. Maybe you may decide the percentage, but they have to decide, what is it? They have to decide these rules because they know the code. They, let's say, 1 minute, let me add it. So, what we did is, see, we just set up the SonarQube, we add the QualityGates and everything, but who wrote the code? If let's say project is failed, project have issues, who will fix it? Is it you? No, right? They have to fix it. So these rules they will only decide, not you. Only you will, what your task is, you will just add these rules. Add these rules to SonarQube, that's it. Fine. So here your task, add the rules, add the conditions, whatever you want. So now I'm just adding one more condition here. The condition is unit test percent is less than 50, it's a failure. So now all the conditions has to be matched, then only it will work. Update QualityGates, it's saved, that's it. So now still this is not assigned to your project, because if you see, go to scroll down projects with nothing, without 2, let's assign to both. So these conditions with assigned to everyone. With means when the QualityGate attached to project or not. Without attaching any projects are there or not. Of course there is nothing, because we just allowed to. Now let's go here, let's go to project information. Where is QualityGate? Let's refresh. See, quality check, you can select here also, but of course there also it's fine. So now what happens if I analyze what happens, this project, let's say test project, It will of course check the rules of these default quality profiles, and check later it will check for the condition also. It will check and it will decide the project status. See why we are adding all the conditions? To decide the project status only, whether it's passed or failed. Currently it's passed because all the conditions are passed. Now we add the conditions, it should fail. Let's see if it is fails or not. Got it? This is ours, right? Let's add maybe one more condition. Unlock editing. Here you just click on this is a new options. Add a condition on overall code. Issues greater than maybe 100, it's a failure. Of course small issues will be there. So if it is greater than 100, it should be fail. All right, now let's go here, let's go to analyze this. I think this is the main project, test project only, right, which I just edited. Yeah, test project. Why? See, it's showing here Maven project. Why the hell it's showing the test project? You know it, because the key project key we gave as a test project. That's why. Let's see. See, of course it will analyze. It will it will use see the quality. I'll show you once it's done. It'll do blah 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 all these things. Let's wait. It's done, obviously. Let me scroll up a little bit. See quality profiles. See default ones, obviously. And for Java it's our new one because we selected the new, right? Remember, that's why it's new. It means that it'll only one rule was there, so the one rule it checked, that's it. Not remaining everything it skipped, which is not a good practice, but I just showed you, that's it. And blah blah blah, it's doing all these things. Now let's go to our project, refresh. Sorry, project. See, it is showing as failed. You know why it failed? Click on this. We had a condition. What is the condition? Issues should not be greater than 100. See, if it is greater than 100, it's a failed. It's marked as failed. So the condition has been failed here because there are we have issues overall. How many are there? 197 issues are there. It means 97 more than 100, right? So 197 issues is greater than 100. That's why it failed. See, it's failed. That's how we decide. That's how we decide project failure or status. Of course, this number, these quality gate conditions will be given by developers only, not you. Correct? All you will do is integrate these conditions into the project. That's it. That's the only thing you do. That's about quality gates. Any doubts so far? Anything? Any doubts? Anything? See, we have seen SonarQube setup, how it works, the database inside it, set up the database. Of course, there is nothing wrong, as I told you just in the starting, nothing wrong in the DB. So it was taking from cache, it was loading from cache, so I had to clear the cache and try it again. That's it. And how to set up Sonar Scanner, how to integrate Sonar Scanner with SonarQube using Sonar Scanner properties file, and how to analyze the project, how to analyze it, how it will analyze internally. There are something called rules which will apply the rules, and quality profiles we can able to create out of the rules by selecting only the rules which we want. That's exactly what happening. And of course we are applying conditions on top of projects to decide the project status, whether it is passed or failed. See, there are 197 issues, but it's showing as passed. What is the meaning there? What is the point of applying the rules? That's why we have some conditions where with the help of in the form of quality gate, we have conditions where we'll apply these conditions on top of our code. All the let's say here 6 conditions are there, right? All has to be matched, then only it will show as success. If any of these are failed, it will show as failed. Let's say these, I'll delete the condition. Maybe let's say 200, I'll keep it. Currently issues are only 197, right? So 200 means issues should not cross 200. It means it'll get success now. It will be success next time. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go. Let it go. It's done. Let's refresh. Obviously, see, it's passed. See, the test project is passed. Why? All the conditions are passed. I changed the condition, right? I told issue should not be greater than 200. It's less than 200 only. I think 197 is less than 200. That's why. That's how you work on it. That's how you do it. Got it? That's how QualityGate works. Of course, SonarQube topic is not ended here, because we will be referring the Sonar again when when Jenkins or CI/CD topic comes. In next class also we'll use SonarQube, because we will be integrating this. We'll be automated these testings and all. We'll integrate this with pipelines. That we'll see in upcoming classes. Don't worry. So for now, let's go to a few more topics called administration. Of course, these are general settings. Webhooks is something which are important, which we will discuss, and still time is there for this, because you don't understand this now. But for now, I'll just give a small example. If you know Jenkins, there is tool called Jenkins to automate. So while integrating this SonarQube with Jenkins, we'll use these webhooks. But yeah, we'll see the practical when the time comes. Until then, remember the tool called SonarQube. And of course, security, go to security, users, create your own users. Of course, you know all these things, password, blah, 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 all these things. I'm not showing this, you already know this. You can create groups and add users. Create a group, add users into I think we already have a group. See, Sonar default users, let's Sonar administrators. You can add the users here. Of course, there is only one user called admin, which I just using. And obviously, global permissions. See, here what happens is like you can assign permissions to the groups. Let's say Sonar administrator group is there or users group is there. What permissions they need to have? Administrator system means they're admins, they can control everything. Sonar users group does not have admin permissions. It means they cannot do anything. They can execute analysis, they can create a project, but they cannot administrate. I mean, they cannot see these options. They cannot see these options at all. They cannot delete the project also. Currently, I'm using admin user, so admin user have everything, every administration system. Like that, you can create groups, you can give permissions also. Got it? And next, what else? This is like project management. You can delete project here directly. You don't need to come here at all. Simply go to your project. Let's say I want to delete this Node.js. Project settings, deletion. Or if you don't delete the project, yes, see, gone. No need to go to administration, projects, management, nothing. See, no need to come here just to delete. You can delete over there completely. Got it? Again, I'm telling you, you can create multiple users. You can log in as that user also. So you can restrict. You can try. Let's create a user just for we have time still. Let's create test user. I'm just name test as usual. Email it's a password. I'll just give some random. Create user. Come on. Let's change the password again. It'll torture. All right, I changed it. As of now, he is not in any group, right? So see, oh, he's already there. Sonar users, okay. So he is in Sonar users group. Let's go to groups. He's in Sonar users group. So now he should not have access to. He don't have admin access. This user test user should not have admin access because this group does not have admin access. See. Now observe. Let's log out. Blah 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 blah. Login. See, okay, of course, this is fine. See, observe here. Okay, project, he have access to project. Observe, there is no project settings option. Observe here, there is no administrator option at all. See, because this user belongs to Sonar users group. Sonar users group can create projects, can do the analysis. I mean, they can able to see the projects, but they cannot do anything at the SonarQube level. See, that's why admin, he'll have everything. So, but usually, organizations, what happens is, they don't use these users. I mean, they don't create users in SonarQube and they don't use it like that. Why? Because I think if you know IT, they'll have something called Active Directory, LDAP, Active Directory and LDAP. So these LDAP, what happens is when you, let's say, you joined a company. So every company have a server maintaining all the user information, So when you join a new company with your email ID, they'll give you new email ID for you, new user ID for you, right? What happens is in that server they'll create one new user for you, and they'll give it to you. So now that server, whatever the every user information it has, that they'll integrate for everything. Let's say if you want to log into a laptop, you have to use that. They'll integrate that into your laptop. That's called Active Directory or LDAP, or will be there. So because that will, we have every organization will use those things. Even for SonarQube, for every tool, for GitHub also, you don't create like that. I mean, sometimes you will create it, but they'll integrate that server where every users are present with GitHub, with SonarQube, with everything. I mean, with SonarQube and all, you need to do it, but for other common things, IT guys will do it. So they'll use that. They don't use internal creating users like this SonarQube and all. If it is a small organization, of course they'll because those are paid things. You have to pay for them. Then those use servers and all. But if it is a normal startups and all, we'll use users like this. But it's okay. This LDAP or Active Directory configuration, you have to do it in the SonarQube. They'll give the details to you. LDAP server URL, server IP address, username and password to authenticate. They'll give the details in the sonar.properties file. These are the database, correct? Let's web server. This is also we have seen, which is fine. There is something called SSO authentication, which is one thing. Which see. This SSO also one kind of authentication which we need to implement in server. I mean in organization we have to use it here. There will be one more thing called LDAP configuration. See here. LDAP URL. See like the LDAP bindian, there will be LDAP password. So all this information they'll give. I mean if you have access you will only get it. Mostly it will come from IT. You have to give here the information and you have to use these. So now what happens is users, whoever is there, can log in with their own email IDs instead of you going to Sonar creating user for them like that, which we are using currently in our organization. So like that, if we have this setup, we can able to use this. If not, you have to create users inside SonarQube and you have to use it. Anything is fine. Got it? So any doubts so far? I'll share the document. I'm sharing it right now. I'm telling you again, it's 5 years old document. I don't know if it is relevant today or not, but I'm sharing you. But the DB setup, don't follow there, because the DB I've used there is MySQL. Now MySQL has been, it won't support now anymore. I just want to say that it won't support. So in the document there are QualityProfiles, QualityGates. There are some extra things also. Sonar Jenkins integration, Sonar Maven integration. That we'll see in upcoming classes, don't worry. But yeah, it's good to know that. Got it? So yeah, that's about SonarQube. As I told you, we don't care about the issues. Issues means the code issues. I meant to say. All we have to do is set up the SonarQube, do the analysis, set up the conditions, integrate them with project, automate that whole thing using pipelines. Pipelines we haven't discussed yet. It will take time, but yeah, that's what our task is. We have to make sure the SonarQube is running, it is analyzing, and the project status, failed or passed, deciding based on the QualityGates. That's the only thing. And of course, if someone asks, access also. access restrictions or doing like that, which we do. That's all about SonarQube. Anything? Any doubts? It'll be easy. In between some issues we have faced, but it'll be very easy. Don't get confused. All those things. All right. If all good, we'll meet tomorrow with a new tool. Got it? So now we have done. What is it? We wrote the code. We have tested the code. That's what we did. Now, what's next? Once testing is finished, let's say testing is done. Testing is successful. What's next? That we'll see tomorrow. Don't worry. Got it? Alright then. Let's meet tomorrow, same time. Bye. Bye everyone. Have a nice day.